Good time zones, race fans, and welcome back to a very special edition of the iCast Racing Network as we are live for Simsational TV right here for the 60 Minutes of Bathurst for the Mobile Fabrication Services GT3 series. We are here because, well, apparently none of us value our stress levels, because tonight we're taking these GT3 cars straight into the jaws of Mount Panorama again for round number 4, the 60 Minutes of Bathurst. I'm Mike Taylor, trying not to develop any new anxiety symptoms, and honestly tonight's race isn't going to make that easy. Tonight we are halfway through the season and every championship battle is starting to boil over. In the amateur division, the fight is microscopic. Harry Severn hangs on to the points lead with 108 points. There we go. 108 points for Harry Severn, and right behind him, clinching on with just one single point over Quentin Klumpert with 107 points. Bathurst is going to treat this like a snack. The mountain doesn't care about standings. It just waits for someone to blink and then introduces them to a concrete reality check. And in the pro division is basically a pressure cooker with wheels. Hayden Young leads with 94 points, but Harry Price is only 6 points back. Andy White is hovering at 84 points, and David Kinkus is your last week's winner at Suzuka is right there in fourth with 80 points and breathing down their neck. Those four drivers right there, ladies and gentlemen, are only separated by 14 points. This mountain that all these competitors are climbing on today eats egos for breakfast, so get ready. GT3 cars with some championship chaos, and add in some concrete walls that absolutely do not move. We are getting ready for round number 4 of the Mobile Fabrication Services GT3 series right here on the iCast Racing Network and Simsational TV, powered by iRacing. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Yeah, just ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready and on the iCast Racing Network. And cool, just making sure that everything is standing over there just fine. But yes, right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is your points battle for your AM division. Let's switch it up and head over to our pro division now, as you will see Hayden Young out front with 94 points. Harry Price, Andy White, David Kinkus. These guys are all ready to rock and roll. As you see here, ladies and gentlemen, all these drivers are out here on track. They are now getting in their qualifying runs. And let's take a look here as sorry about that. I'm just make sure everything's up and running over here on my end, so that we can safely get all this transferred over later on to Simsational. But yeah, we're ready to rock and roll up here in the mountains as we're taking a look at not able to look. Now we're looking at the number 82 machine here of Daniel Poole, as he is heading down this very long straightaway. Probably one of the longest straightaways, obviously, in the GT3 world. Definitely the longest for the supercars, as he will make that hard right-hand kink right here. And heavy braking into this left and right before heading his way to the final corner and onto the shortest run to the start finish line here. Let's take a look here. You know, we're gonna jump on board here with Tim Reed in his AMD Mercedes, as we are going to see what it's like to whip around this speedway. So here he comes. He's going to go ahead and circle around here and complete his first lap. Down here into turn number 1. And the next corner up here is a hard right-hand corner. This is probably one of the most well-known passing opportunities here at the track, because you can get a nice draft here, but you know, if you go in here way too deep, you're just going to meet that yellow concrete wall right there. As he comes out of turn number 2, heading up, now he's going to start coming up the mountain now through turns 3, 4, 5. All right, and we are still here with Tim Reed as he's coming up on the right-hander kink right here, heading back here into the final 3 corners of this track. And ladies and gentlemen, that is one lap around the mountain that is known as Mount Panorama. And just like that, he is done there. Joshua Smith, he's coming down this very long straightaway, heading down to turn number 2, as we are getting ready to end qualifying here in just a few moments. But then we're going to set these guys up and set them out. And yeah, we are going to get ready for this 60 minutes here at Bathurst, aka Mount Panorama. And if you thought last week at Suzuka was thrilling, wait until you guys see what these drivers here have in store for you today. Alrighty. Boom, boom. Oh no, we still got 15 minutes, or 5 minutes. I apologize, everybody. As we continue to watch Josh Joshua Smith here in that number 77 Ferrari come down the mountain and heading to this very long straightaway. He's looking to complete his final lap here. Joseph Lopez, he's coming out of the final corner now. He's going to cross the start finish line. Let's see where he jumps up to. There we go. So now we can actually see their lap times here. Tom Weston and Joshua Smith. Let me see. Give me one moment here, you guys. All right. Let's see. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look here. Who's getting ready to cross the start-finish line next? Glenn Ablard. He's getting ready to cross the 127. He was sitting about 8th or 7th, and he will not be able to better his race time on that one. Harry Severn, he's looking to better his lap time, and he's still gonna start right around that 10th spot there. Oh, we got one car coming into the pit lane. Craig Korish, he's coming out of the final corner. He comes to the start finish line, and he will put it 9th in the pro division. Let's see. David Kinkius, he's coming out of the final corner now in his number 118 Lamborghini. He's looking to put down another quick time, and he was able to better his time of a 2 minutes. Oh, it disappeared on me. How about that? But yeah, he put in a very, very fast lap time there. There it is, a 2 minute and 2 second .761. Really quick lap time for Kinkus there in his Lamborghini. Harry Price, he's getting ready to come back to the start finish line, looking to better his lap time, and that's going to keep him up in 7th for the moment. Glenn Ablard in that number 127 BMW, he's coming out of the final corner looking to better his time. He was in just about 8th, and he will stay right there in that 8th spot. And that's going to finish up our qualifying here for today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get these guys lined up now for a quick warm-up. And while these guys are doing a warm-up, we're going to take a... Hang on, give me 1 second.
Mike, he's eating chalk. Mike, he's eating chalk.
He's eating chalk.
Can I have a snack?
Yeah. No problem, Connor. I can do that. Appreciate you, sir. And I just want to throw out a big thank you to Connor Pink. He is our race admin for the day, giving me some information here as we go, as we do have two drivers unsure of where exactly they're supposed to be, but we're going to go ahead and throw them where we believe they are supposed to be. So I definitely appreciate that from you. Tom Weston was going to be in a pro. Yes. All right. There we go. So Tom Weston, we're going to throw you in with the pro division. And Josh Smith, we're throwing you over in the amateur division. Beautiful. Now everything should make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and save this before I forget. Perfect. So now everything will update here in just a moment for these couple drivers. We are excited to have everybody here joining us. Mark Ozier, he's out here out and about today. As let's try to go catch a view of him and his McLaren and the number 71 machine. He's out and about here. Christopher Haynes in the number 97 McLaren. He's out here to make some noise today. All right, Joel Loudon, he's out here in the number 79 machine. Alrighty, just a few more moments here, and then we're going to get ready to head over into the race. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this thing underway as these drivers are now lining up for the start of today's event. Let's go ahead and take a look at your qualifying results and your starting lineup here. Starting on the pole, it's going to be David Kinkus, and joining him on the front row, it's going to be Andy White. Row number 2 is going to be Tom Weston and Sam Berry. Peter Duke, Hayden Young will be making up row number 3. Row 4, you got Harry Price, Glenn Ablard. Row number 5, you got Tim Reed and Quentin Klumpert, the first of your AM drivers. And row number 6, the second amateur driver is going to be James Moore in the number 17, joining Craig Korish in row 6. Row 7 is going to be Gareth Newton, Matthew Macy, Theo and Joel, Scott Kostrick, Joshua Smith, Raymond Van, Daniel Poole, Christopher Haynes, Harry Severn, James Vartigans, Mark Wesley, Joseph Lopez, Sean Clark, and Mark Ozier. That's going to be your starting lineup here for today's race, ladies and gentlemen. It is going now to be in the hands of the officials. Get ready for the 60 minutes of Bathurst right here on Sensational TV. And the green flag is out, ladies and gentlemen. As David Kinkus, he is diving down into turn number 1. As you see the drivers now flying down this very long straightaway, heading towards turn number 2. David Kinkus way out front, Andy White back there in second, and then the rest of the fields coming at them very strong, heading up here into turn number 2. These drivers are going to want to be very careful getting up here in turn number 2. Apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen. As we take a look here, so far no harm, no foul, as these drivers climb up the mountain here for the very first time, and everybody's nice and steady at the moment, and that's what it's going to take to accomplish Bathurst. Gareth Newton, he is all the way in the back. He started in the pits, as we do look like we possibly have one driver. No, everybody's looking good coming down through this section and into Falcon, as they will now come out of Falcon and start making their way on this very long straightaway. So far, ladies and gentlemen, all these drivers are doing a phenomenal job. They almost, for the most part, they all survived the turn 1 chaos that you would normally see here at Bathurst. As you see Kinkus currently pulling away from Andy White in that number 118 Lamborghini. That Lambo has been absolutely wicked fast the last 2 weeks. And he is looking to continue to make noise up here. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. A single file, you guys, throughout this field. No one really trying to make any noise until you get a little bit further back here, right around James Moore and Craig Korish. But those drivers are for the 2 different divisions here. As you see James Moore in that Jimmy's Ice Coffee Machine, getting around Craig Korish in that number 13 machine, and as they start to climb up through the mountain once again. This section of the track is very, very critical. You must must 100% be able to control your vehicle at all times up through this mountain, because as I stated at the start of this broadcast, on either side is a brick wall, and you do not want to hit either side of these walls as they now make their way back down the mountain here for the second time today. Nice and steady. It looks like a nice, beautiful roller coaster there through the dip as they come down here through the S's, heading back over here to Falcon and the very long straightaway. Glenn Ablard, he is under attack from Peter Duke in that number 177 McLaren, as he is looking to make a move here heading into the kink. He thought about, there he goes, side by side through the kink and down into this hard left-hander contact, and he's used, as Glenn, he used it, I'm sorry, he used Harry Price, I believe it was. No, Glenn Ablard, he's going to come down pit road as Harry Price and Peter Duke, they were able to get around him there. So Glenn Ablard coming in, possible meatball on his machine. Not exactly sure how much damage he got out of it, but that must have been enough because he did have to come down pit road. As we continue to look here, as Harry Price is starting to put a lot of pressure now on Duke for that 6th spot. As I'm looking through the field here, James Moore and Theo Govindasmy, they are battling it out here heading up into the mountains, and it's going to be James Moore getting the best of it in that Jimmy's Ice with Coffee Aston Martin as they will continue to climb the mountain now. Now we are starting to get really close battles all around. Here comes Daniel Poole looking to get onto the side of Raymond Van Zoofen as they will head towards Skyline here and then start making his way towards the Dipper. Hayden Young, he got off track just a moment ago, but that didn't really seem like that hurt him too much. But here comes Sam Berry now in that 129. He's looking to make a move here heading into the kink. Not able to get onto his side, and they're going to dive down here into this left-right-handers. And Hayden, he's going to start to pull away from Barry here just a little bit, but not too much, as we're going to fall back here just a little bit back here to Raymond and Daniel Poole. They're side by side here at the kink, heading down into the left right-hander at the back end of this track. Still side by side, almost contact, but they're going to continue to run side by side. And James Vardigan, he's looking to attack now as he goes to the right hand side of Poole, as he's going to try to take that long way around, not able to do anything with it. Oh, and we got two spinners. Joseph Lopez and Daniel Poole both spun out on the exit of the final corner, as these drivers are going to quickly get themselves facing the correct direction. Let's go back and take a look and see, as they both were coming down here into the final corner. And just on exit here, ladies and gentlemen, synchronized spinning for both of these drivers. Very light contact there for Daniel Poole, but it does look like Joseph Lopez, he did get away with it in his Corvette without much damage. Alright, as we're going to jump back up here, find some more of your close racing action, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Smith and Harry Severn, they're battling it out for that 7th spot in the AM division. And these four drivers here are actually pretty close right here. Oh, contact for Joshua Smith. He's got to be careful. You don't want to be hitting the wall too hard here, because that will cause a lot of issues for these machines as they come down this very long straightaway. Right now, it looks like Joel Loudon will hold on to that 6th spot. But here comes Harry Severn. He's looking to make a run onto the left side. He wants to be on that left side for this spot. And he will take away that position from Joel Loudon in that Ford Mustang. And here comes Joshua Smith. He's now looking to the right side. Not able to make it happen as these drivers will dive down here into the corner. Harry Severn, he will take over the spot from Loudon. And from Christopher Haynes. And now here comes Joshua Smith on the inside of Haynes, heading in down into turn number 1. Not able to make it happen, so he's going to follow in line here. Really good battle back here for that for that. Okay, so 6th, 7th, and 9th spot back here. As we have a battle up here starting to brew for our race leader in the AM division, who's currently sitting 9th overall, Quentin Klumpert. He's right behind Harry Price, and one car separates Craig Korsh and James Moore. And Moore, he's going to have to get around Korsh if he wants to attack on Quentin Klumpert here in the mountain. It's 10 minutes into this race already, ladies and gentlemen, and we have only seen 2 cars make any sort of contact, as we got a battle back here for that 8th spot between Josh Smith, Christopher Haynes. These guys are going, and as I say that, Joseph Lopez, he has issues coming down into the mountain as he's looking to get his machine turned around. Let's come back here, take a look, and see what happened as he came down through Skyline. Oh, whoops. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I was end up hitting that wrong button, but we're going to come back and look at it one more time. As he is coming down through Skyline, and he just loses it on the entrance of the Dipper, and hard contact there. But he will get his car facing the correct direction. And Sam Berry, he did go off track for a brief moment. Let's go ahead and go back and take a look here as he went off track here in the final corner. But no harm, no foul there for Sam Berry in that number 129 machine. Currently running 4th, trying to track down Hayden Young. And David Kinkus, he is still out front by 1.5 seconds over Andy White. So this battle up here, you know, they're not really pushing too hard, but Kinkus is currently starting to pull away from Andy White. Apologize about that, ladies and gentlemen, as we're looking here at Theo. He's doing a phenomenal job hanging back there in that 3rd spot, looking to better his run after a couple weeks ago. this battle back here for this race lead is starting to get intense for the amateur division, as Craig Korsh is still in between first and second of the amateur division, as you see these drivers come flying out of the mountain here once again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to have to step away for just about 5 minutes or so I can go get my dog back inside. So enjoy the race action, and I will be right back. Alrighty guys, I apologize about that. I got my puppy dog back in here, and while I was gone we did have a couple issues happen, so we're gonna go back, take a quick look, starting off here with Joseph Lopez coming up out of turn number 2 to head up into the mountains here. Just late break and spun her around. Tom Weston as well had issues. We're gonna come back here, take a look. Not the same corner, just a little too high, got sideways. And he's able to get it back moving just fine. One of your points contenders, Harry Severn, had issues coming out of the final corner up onto those curbings, and it got him, and he will hit the wall on the exit on the final corner. Very unfortunate there. Mark Wesley as well, he had issues as he had to get a tow back to the pits. He was coming up here on Skyline and just lost it. Hard impact, and he decided it was better just to get a tow instead of trying to turn it around just in case. So let's go ahead and jump back live, ladies and gentlemen. Still out front, your overall race leader, David Kinkus. He is still just about 1.5 seconds over second place of Andy White in that number 86 Ashton Martin, and then followed by Hayden Young, your current points leader. Over in our amateur division, James Moore, he will take over that top spot in that number 17 Aston Martin, followed by Quentin Klumper and Theo Galvindesmi. He's made his way up into the top 3 here. So really good racing here going on, and I want to thank my sister so much for handling some good battles here for you guys while I was stepped away. So thank you so much for her for stepping in for me while I went and I got my puppers back from outside. So back to the your normal racing here. Tim Reed, he's trying to hold off Harry Price here as they come down this straightaway. Heading up here to turn number 2, they're currently just running side by side. Great battle here for that 6th spot in your pro division. Yes, these are teammates battling it hard here for Clark and James Motorsports, and they're going to go ahead and climb up the mountain now, just taking it nice and easy here. David Kinkus, he just went off track for a brief moment coming down the mountain, and that allowed Andy White to catch up to him. Now he's just about 1 second back. So David Kinkus for Race Forge Esports being now hounded from behind by Clark St. James Motorsports. As these guys are starting to duke it up here, and we're gonna fall back here to our battle for 3rd. Hayden Young, Sam Berry trying to get the best of Hayden Young heading down here into the kink, but he went ahead and just backed it off just a little bit, as that could very well been a very smart move, as sometimes it's very iffy, you know, trying to make a move here. As you see, Sam Berry, he's actually going to come down to pit road in his Porsche, so that's why he did not take advantage of that situation there. So definitely good good thoughts there, as this battle for your race lead is heating up. David Kinkus, Andy White now just under 0.3 seconds. Andy White, he is getting a draft currently off of Kinkus down this very long straightaway heading to turn number 2. And now these guys are going to run single file up through this mountain. He's going to wait to see if Kinkus makes some sort of mistake coming up through the mountain. So anything could happen, as Kinkus, he did get off over in Skyline just for a brief moment. So he's got to be careful, because anything could still happen, as he will lose a little bit of time there. Kinkus pulls out to just about 1 second lead over Andy White now. And now Andy White, he's going to have to try to work hard and try to cut back to his back bumper. But Kinkus is just so fast up through this the top of the mountain here, as they are now going to come back down. The car number 123, he does have a black flag. He did have a black flag, possibly for speeding in pits, most likely. All right, so now still just about 1 1/4 second ahead of White is David Kinkus, as everybody's back here is starting to pit. James Vardigans, he's pitting Christopher Haynes. Zufin, he's pitting Poole, Clark, Ozier. Let's see, Josh Smith, he's come down pit road here as well. As we catch up here with Tim Reed and Peter Duke running 5th and 6th. These guys really starting to spice things up here, as your race leader David Kinkus, Andy White, and Hayden Young will all come down pit road. As it looks like we are just to about that point where everybody's going to come down for their pit stop here, as we just got over the halfway mark in this race just about a minute ago. So these guys doing a really good racing. Not a lot of issues here today up through the mountains like I anticipated. So these guys are doing one heck of a job driving through Mount Panorama, which is possibly one of the hardest circuits other than Nürburgring. This track is a really tough track to drive up through the mountain, and man, all these guys are taking it, you know, with a lot of ease, and I'm absolutely loving it. As this battle here for 5th place is still, these guys are still duking it out back here. Tim Reed right on the back bumper of Peter Duke. If he gets it just right, he may look to that right side, but Duke, he thinks better of it, and he will go, and he will send another block up here into turn number 2. That's going to send him a little bit slower, and here comes Reed to the inside of Duke. Oh, I'm sorry, on the right side of Duke, as they will run side by side up here through tire power, but not able to make anything of it with Tim Reed. So Tim Reed, he's going to have to fall back behind Duke here once again, coming up through the mountain. And again, this section of the track is going to be very, very, it's such a rhythm portion of the track, and it all depends on how well you get up through here, is, you know, just about how well you're going to do down through that mountain. Right back to that back bumper of Duke, Tim Reed gets, as they rocket out of the dipper, heading back over here to Falcon Corner, or Forest Elbow, and then now they're going to rocket down this very long straightaway here once again. Tim Reed, he's going to stay right there in the draft of Duke, but he's got to be very careful here. And he's getting really close. He's not going, I don't think he's going to try anything right now. I think he's going to wait and see what happens the next couple corners here. And I think he might attack out of turn number 1. So I think that's what we're going to wait and watch here. But Reed is going to have a really good exit out of turn number 1 for him to make that run down towards turn number 2. And as of right now, Duke pulled away a little bit here. That's not what Reed needed. As they come down here in turn number 1, now we're about to see what kind of a run Reed will get out of turn number 1. And he does get a little bit better of an exit, but I don't think it's going to be enough for him to catch Duke before they get to turn number 1, or turn 2, as they will come flying down. And Matthew Macy in that number 89 machine, he spins it on the exit of out of the final corner. Let's come ahead, take a look, see what happened. just getting onto the gas. It looked like the car just kept rotating, and around she goes. Again, no harm, no foul for Matthew Macy there, so luckily for him, nothing big happened there. Let's see. As we're going to jump back up here to Peter Duke and Tim Reed. Both of these drivers doing a phenomenal job as they are catching a lap down car, I believe, here. Oh, yep, there he goes as that car just nicely pulls away. That's Joseph Lopez in that number 21 Corvette. He will pull away with no harm done, no waiting for those guys. As these guys come down the very long, I call it the back straightaway. But in all reality, they're coming up on the final 3 corners of this track. Just a phenomenal job so far by all these drivers. Again, you know, all we're seeing is like very little minor off tracks. Like Mark Wesley, he just went off track here. Let's go back, take a look. Just overshot a little bit there. No harm, no foul. Theo, he also got off track as well. Coming through Skyline. Great job at, you know, keeping it on track there. So yeah, I mean, and that was actually pretty much at the same exact time there. So no harm, no foul for a lot of these drivers, you know, keeping it on the track. I just want to jump back here to Harry Severn in that 123 McLaren. You know, he's having some issues here in Mount Panorama, and this is going to hurt his championship. And as I said at the start of this event, this mountain don't care about anything. It's going to strike whoever it wants when it wants. So something these drivers are going to have to keep a very good eye on here, as you see Sean Clark allowing Harry Severn to get around him, as he is definitely a lot faster. Let's see here as we go find another good battle here coming up. Tom Weston and Glenn Ablard, they're a little bit on the close side here. But once again, Peter Duke, Tim Reed, still our closest battle on track at the moment. And I promise you guys are not missing anything up front between David Kinkus and Andy White, as all those drivers there, you know, they're keeping it just about a 1 second gap in between everybody. So I promise you, you guys are not really missing anything there. Don't stress on it at all. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at car numbers. There we go. Tim Reed's just having such a hard time trying to make any sort of run here on Peter Duke out of these exits. He's got to try to get these exits a little bit more cleaner if he wants to have any sort of opportunity to pounce. And let's go ahead and jump back here to Quentin Klumper and Theo Govindasamy, as these guys are in their BMW starting to battle it out now here for this top spot. So this is your battle for first place here in the AM division. Theo, Quentin coming up through pedigree, coming up. Oh, Joshua Smith, he is around. Joshua Smith, oh, big contact. What in the world happened there? Let's come back here, take a look. Oh, he had some issues before, and multiple cars involved here. No, that's not it there. Josh Smith, where did you have issues, my good friend? Let's go do something that I don't like doing, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna try to figure out where exactly he lost his rear wing, because it didn't show that he had any sort of issue. Oh man, this was early on in the run. Before turn... My dude, how long did you go? So he left pits here. Let's do this. He didn't have a wing when he left pit. Whoa. Joshua Smith, what in the world did you do, my dude? Okay, so I cannot find it, but let's go ahead and come back. As you see, he's just all over the place, and he gets in hard into a couple of these drivers here. Mark Ozier, he is no, oh yeah, that's this right here. So Mark Ozier, he went off track for this as well. Sean Clark also involved, so he's in that blue car. So Sean Clark and Mark Ozier, both just innocent bystanders in this situation here. Oh man, I can't even find out or see where this incident, you know, where he originally lost his wing. Josh Clark, let me come back here as we take a look up here at Andy White. Currently there's no really close battles, so I'm gonna take a moment here, see if I can find out where exactly. Yeah, wasn't anywhere. So he has a wing here. I'm just looking here at every single time I see his name pop up. Yeah, so he has a wing here. Did he have issues on the exit? No? Aha. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Now I found it. Coming out of Falcon, he gets into the inside wall and it just rips the back end off of his machine. Let's see if we can get a better look here in this camera. So now I finally found it where he actually had the issue. Again, just coming through Falcon, just hit that inside wall just enough and it bounced that wing off. And I don't think he actually realized he lost that wing. So I think that's what happened there for Joshua Smith. As we're going to come back to Joel Loudon and Scott Kostrick, these guys are battling it out now for this fourth spot coming up through the mountain. So on that one, Joshua Smith in that 77, he did get a drive-through penalty for causing a major collision. Oh, James Moore has some issues. James Moore in that third spot, he has lost it coming towards the coming out of the dipper. So he's going to fall all the way back to that fifth spot in class. Let's go ahead and come back, take a look, see what happened coming up here into the dipper. Nah, just it upset the car. I think he tried to get into the gas possibly. but no harm, no foul. Good driving there by James Moore, you know, paying attention to not getting into anybody and trying to get turned back around here at Mount Panorama. It's a tough thing because, like I said, you know, you barely have enough room up in the mountain to go too wide, so you know, you've got to be careful trying to get your car back turned around. And all these drivers that have spun up in the mountain, coming out of the mountain, they have done a phenomenal job at paying attention to where other drivers are. As we even saw, you know, somebody absolutely just think better and tow it, you know, instead of possibly causing a collision. So I'm absolutely proud of this group of drivers that we have here at Mount Panorama tonight. As we come back here and we got Raymond Van Zoofen and Daniel Poole. These guys are battling it out for that 10th spot. As that 82 machine of Daniel Poole, he's looking to get on a good run here on the exit of that BMW. Not able to make anything of it. He's thinking about going to the right side, but he's probably going to try to cross over here on the exit, but not able to do anything. But the way these cars are designed, these two are actually pretty close, and that McLaren has a little bit of a smoother body, so he might get a good run here heading towards turn number 2. Not able to make anything of it, as he will look now. Oh no, he will drive around the outside going through turn 2. Here comes Daniel Poole on the outside for that 10th spot. He will take it over from Zoofen as they enter turn 2. He was like, see ya, I'm going around the outside, and he's starting to pull away now. Jumping back over here to Harry Price and Tom Weston here for that 7th spot in class. On the exit of the final exit there, coming to the start finish line back into turn number 1. Weston, he is looking to make some sort of move here on this very long straightaway over into turn number 2. Let's take a look here, see what kind of move he's going to try to make here into turn number 2. No, he's just going to ride around right behind Harry Price here, coming up through the mountains. Nice and easy here for Weston, just biding his time as they come up here through tire power and back up into the extremely fast top part of this mountain here. Really good battle right here. Something that I want to point out, ladies and gentlemen, this is the mountain that these guys are driving on. This view does not do it justice, ladies and gentlemen, but let me tell you what, it's an absolute phenomenal place to run. I absolutely love it. And as you guys can see, even though things are nice and tight here at Mount Panorama, these drivers are giving it all they've got, as these two drivers are coming up here into the final 3 corners here and heading back over to the final corner. The number 71 machine of Mark Ozier has retired once again. Very unfortunate for that number 71 McLaren of Mark Ozier, as he's gotten caught up in everybody else's mess this season, and unfortunately he has not been able to finish a race just yet. So hopefully next week that will all change when it's all said and done. Oh, David Kinkus has crashed, ladies and gentlemen. Your race leader, he has crashed coming up into the mountains, and he's going to fall all the way back to that 4th spot. Big mistake by your race leader, and that's going to hand it over to Andy White in that number 86 Aston Martin. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to your race leader just coming up through tire power. He hit that bump. He hit that bump that absolutely just upsets the car. Let's go ahead and we're going to go on board here And coming up through this section, just watch the front end of this car bounce right here. There's that bump right there, and if you hit it just wrong, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to send you right around facing the other way, and he will get his car moving in the correct direction. So again, no harm, no foul there for your race leader, but he did fall all the way back to that 4th spot. Now he is sitting just about 8-9 seconds back behind Andy White, your race leader. So big mistake late in the race here, as we have just under 10 minutes remaining in this race. Definitely very unfortunate there. He's going to have to work to be able to try to catch the race leader. But in order to do that, he's got to go through Sam Barry and Hayden Young. So this just makes this pro championship points battle even tighter as we head into round 5, which will take place next week at Watkins Glen in Watkins Glen, New York, USA. So big mistake here, and we're going to only have 2 races left after this. And so this championship, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, has gotten a lot tighter. Kinkus is doing everything he can now. He's now down to just about 8.5 seconds. As we come back here to Joel Loudon and Scott Kostrick, these 2 drivers are still pretty much nose to tail. As we're taking a look here as these drivers come down this very long straightaway towards turn number 2. Kostrick doing everything to keep him out of the lane. The Wookiee, yes, I'm absolutely fine. I'm assuming that you were talking about when I was extremely quiet there for just a few moments. My dogs got out and I had to go get them in, so I do apologize about that. But I'm back. We're doing great, as this battle here is getting nice and tight. But this battle up here as well for this the 7th spot between Tom Weston and Harry Price is starting to get pretty intense up here, as they are coming down to the final corner to make their way back to the start finish line. So this battle up here for this 7th spot is starting to really get juicy here, as they enter turn number 1 to make their way back over to turns 2. Let's stay here. Watching the battle here. Harry Severn, he's trying hard to get her back around Raymond Zufin. Not able to do anything with it. And same with Tom Weston. He's not able to make a run here on Harry Price just yet. Let's see. Yeah, this is a really decent battle here. And it looks like Hayden Young, I don't want to move away from here, but Hayden Young, he's starting to get onto that back bumper, I believe, of Andy White there. As you see both of those drivers go up onto that curbing through Skyline. And that kind of slowed both of those drivers down just a little bit here, as they will come out of Forest Elbow and come back down this very long straightaway. Tom Weston, he's possibly going to try to make a move here, as they will come to this high-speed kink. but I'm not sure how he's going to be able to make a run. He's right there. There he goes. He goes to the right side, not able to do anything. He's cooking it right here once again, trying to get it to his outside, not able to do anything with it, and that's going to allow Price to start to pull away here on Weston, so he wasn't able to make anything happen with it. Let's jump back here to your battle for the race lead in the amateur division, as you've got Theo all over the back bumper of Quentin Klumper, as these two are going to start battling it out for the race lead in the AM division, as we have just 5 minutes left in this race, so possibly just 2 more circuits, I believe, maybe around this racetrack. As we're going to have to wait and see what how these drivers are going to do as they come around the turn number 1 here. Everybody pretty much nice and spread out here. Your race leaders right there in front of these drivers. Oh, nope. So Andy White. Or is that Sam Barry? Okay, so Hayden Young and Sam Barry, they're battling it out here for the 2nd spot. Tom Weston and Harry Price is battling it out for that 7th spot. And Quentin Klumper and Theo, they're battling it out for the 1st spot in the AM division. So we have 4 really good, strong battles at the moment. And so I'm going to try to keep up with everything as this all goes down. Taking a look here at Hayden Young and Sam Barry as they come up or come through the Armor All Bridge and head down into the final corner. Nothing out of the flag just yet. Tim Reed went off track. Tim Reed and Tom Weston both went off track, but no harm, no foul for those drivers as they're going to keep driving around as that battle for second is starting to heat up a little bit more. Hayden Young, he is pulling away just a little bit here, as we're going to stay here with Weston and Harry Price as they head back down here towards turn number 2, and we're looking to see what Weston can do on Price, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do anything with it just yet. The separation that you're seeing between these two are exactly the separation between Hayden Young and Sam Barry. I will. Coming out of the final corner, or turn 1 here once again. As we catch up here with Andy White coming up here through the mountain We are here in the very closing laps here of this race. As you see Andy White here coming down here 7 seconds ahead of everybody here in the mountain. Here comes your race leader now, coming here into the high-speed kink here, heading into the final 3 corners of this amazing speedway. I believe this would be for the final time. Let's take a look here. Yes, it is. It will be for the final time. Ladies and gentlemen, your overall race winner is going to be Andy White in that number 86 Aston Martin, followed by Hayden Young and a very close Sam Berry. They will finish out your top 3. Quentin Klumpert and Theo, these guys are battling it out here for your first spot coming out of the mountain for the final time down this very long straightaway. I don't think Theo's going to have enough time to do anything with Quentin, as they will come down through the back straightaway one last time, heading into the high-speed kink. Just absolutely nothing that Theo can do. And Quentin Klumpert, as long as he keeps it clean for the final corner here, he's going to bring it home in that number 8 BMW. Ladies and gentlemen, out of a turn the final corner, I don't know that turn number, but he's coming out of the final corner. It's going to be Quentin Klumpert, followed by Theo. What an incredible run for Theo. Good turnaround, as we see Scott Kostrick coming back home to 3rd. What an incredible run for these drivers, ladies and gentlemen. As we have our final few drivers starting to make their way across the start-finish line. Good battle here for the 5th spot in class. Gareth Newton, James Vardigans. Oh, they touch side by side. Nope, the 24 got the better of it, so Newton, he'll come home 5th. Vardigans will come home 6th. That was a good little battle there coming out of the final corner. Joel Loudon, Matthew Macy, he's going to come out. Daniel Poole as well. He's going to come through the final corner here. Harry Severn, very disappointing day for him here in Mount Panorama. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go ahead and do our interviews. We're going to start off with your AM race winner, Quentin Klumpert. Quentin, this is Mike up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah.
Quentin, what an absolute incredible run out of you today here at Mount Panorama. How fast was that number 8 BMW?
Yeah, with Theo was also in the BMW, and we were just pulling away the last 20 laps. It was incredible. I just got in the flow, and it was, yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, definitely all around, you know, a really, really good race for you. This is going to help, you know, help pull you even further into the standings. And I believe those were actually just posted. So let me go ahead and pull those up, because I'm very curious.
Yeah.
Standings. All right. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that puts you at 147 points above Harry Severn. You guys were pretty much nose to tail coming into the Mount Panorama. Did you expect this kind of finish out of yourself here in the mountain, or did you expect to be facing the wrong way at some point?
I really like the track. Practiced a lot where you could spin, so I was constantly trying to manage the tires and driving as perfectly as possible. And I know that Harry got not the best qualifying, so I was really like, keep it simple. If it's P2 or P3, it's okay. But in the end, it became P1, so it was really consistency, and I'm really, really happy with the championship at the moment right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Next week we're heading over to the states for Watkins Glen. What's your experience over at Watkins Glen, and can we possibly see a fourth win out of you this season?
That would be incredible, but have never driven it. Same as Panorama, so it will be a lot of practice and maybe the fourth win, but we will see.
Well, I'm telling you right now, man, you are in for an absolute treat. I absolutely love that racetrack. It's probably the only road course I'm actually really good at. So, you are in for an absolute treat if you've never ran Watkins Glen. If you like Mount Panorama, you're going to absolutely love that track as well. It's a
Great.
very high speed track, so definitely looking forward to that next week. Before I let you go, Quentin, is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, P2. So Tio, he was really consistent here. He got some bad races, but I almost wanted to give him the win because he was also incredible today.
Absolutely. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 8 machine out of the Netherlands, Quentin Klumpert, taking home the victory in the AM division. We will see you next week at the Glen.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in your overall race winner and winner in the pro division. Driver of that number 86, Ashton Martin. Andy, do you got a copy, buddy?
How you doing, Mike?
Doing pretty good, man. How fast was that number 86, Ashton Martin, today? And, what was going through your mind when you saw David facing the wrong way there near the end of the race?
I mean, the Aston was quite scary at some places. It's very susceptible to just have a little wheel spin over bumps. So it was quite a battle of managing how much throttle application versus how much exit speed you want. Especially going up the mountain and coming back. Well, pretty much everywhere, the track. It's bumpy, it's horrible, but it's such good fun to race. To be fair, I was absolutely gutted for David when I saw him spun round because he drove such a good race and we was fighting hard. We was trading times. He'd open the gap, I'd close it, but then towards the end he was just pulling away, and I just settled for second place at that point. So it was quite a shock when I seen him facing the wrong way.
Yeah, definitely. And, at times you got in close and then you fell back and then he really got far out in front. So I was like, this is actually an absolute wonderful day for Andy all around. So, I mean, finishing second for him, is going to be absolutely good. And then next thing I see on my relative screen that David Kikus crashed, and I'm like, whoa, wait, what? And so that was an absolute, big mistake on his end. He fell back. Going to take a look now at the Pro Division's point standings. And that's going to move you up just 4 points now behind Hayden Young. After Hayden finished second behind you here. So heading into Watkins Glen next week, what's your thoughts and what did you got to do to hopefully propel yourself to be in front of Hayden next week?
I think Watkins is going to be tough. It's a track that most drivers like. It's real fun to drive, but it's one of those tracks that can bite you if you push it just a little bit too hard. But I expect all the guys to be fast there, like Hayden, David, Sam, Harry, Tim. It's going to be a tight field. Peter, they're all going to be chomping at the bit to get the win. So it's going to be a real tough race next week, I believe.
Yeah, I'm definitely really excited to see how it's all going to play out next week at Watkins Glen. But Andy, congratulations on your race win here in Mount Panorama, and we will see you next week when we head over to the Glen.
Thank you very much. See you next week, buddy.
See you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, your overall race winner, Andy White in that number 86, Ashton Martin. What a phenomenal day here at Mount Panorama, ladies and gentlemen. All around, a beautiful, beautiful race all around. You know, wonderful driving left, right, and every which way. So first and foremost, I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. And we are looking forward to next week when these drivers take to the Watkins Glen International and get ready for an absolute dogfight at that racetrack. And real quick, let's go ahead and take a look here at your race results. Wrong button. Overall, like I said, that's your qualifying results. Your race results is Andy White. He's going to be out on top, followed by Hayden Young. Sam Berry, he'll be in third. David Kinkus, he will come back and rally to fourth. Peter Duke outrunning Tim Reed there near the end. And Harry Price as well, back in that seventh spot. Tom Weston, he will finish eighth. Craig Korish, he'll finish ninth. Quentin Klumpert, he will be your AM division winner, followed by Theo Govindesmi in the number 11 machine. Scott Kostrick, he will come home third in class, 12th overall. Then Glenn Ablard, James Moore, Gareth Newton, James Vardigans, Christopher Haynes, Joel Loudon will round out your top 18 here. 19th is going to be Matthew Macy, Daniel Poole, Harry Severn with a very disappointing finish here today after having a lot of issues early on. Raymond Van, Mark Wesley, Joseph Lopez, Sean Clark, Mark Ozier, and Joshua Smith. They will finish in 26th, 27th, rounding out your field. Thank you guys so much again for joining us this week here at Mount Panorama, and we will see you all next week when we go to Watkins Glen International up in the beautiful state of New York. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know how it goes. Have yourself a beautiful, wonderful time zone, and always remember, no matter what you do in life, have fun doing it. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you guys next week. Good time zones.
Sensational TV YouTube channel. Don't fucking miss it.